So with the Portland Trailblazers recently losing to the Denver Nuggets in the first round in 6 games, I have come to make a video about what should the Portland Trailblazers do for the foreseeable future. Should they just run it back or should they just blow the whole damn thing up? Before I get started with this video, make sure I like, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell for notifications, make sure I follow me on Instagram. My links down below in the description box. And let's get started with this video about what's next for the Portland Trailblazers. Because as great as the Portland Trailblazers have been for the past 5 years, they really haven't been doing much. And they're not a championship level team. I don't care what Damian Lillard says about staying in Portland, because he's not going to win a championship in Portland unless he pulls off a Dirk Nowitzki and leads the team to a championship, which I guarantee that's not going to happen, because the Portland Trailblazers don't have a type of roster like that. Because ever since Damian Lillard was drafted with 6th overall pick back in 2012, and in 2014 they eliminated the Houston Rockets in 6 games due to Damian Lillard's game winner. Then in 2015 they got eliminated by the Memphis Grizzlies in 5 games, and then LaMarcus Aldridge decided to part ways with the Blazers as he went to the Spurs. And ever since Aldridge left, the Blazers, they've been a great team, but they really haven't been that legit. Because Serge CJ developed to a great player, even one most improved player, and they picked up Melo, and they traded for Jusuf Nurkic, and also picked up Rocco, Norman Powell. As the Portland Trailblazers, people really thought had them as the underdogs, but they went out in the first round yet again. And speaking of CJ, as good as CJ has been for the Portland Trailblazers, he's really not a number 2 on the championship team. Because sure, CJ's got a bag. He can pull up from 3. He got the mid-range shot, and he also can drive to the rim. But that bag, he can't really lead a team to a championship as a second guy. He's more like a third option on a championship team. Because CJ, sure, he's a great player, but he kind of peaked. Because 2019, when they made the Western Conference Finals, him and Dame peaked that year, man. Because that's the farthest they ever went. And CJ McCollum missed a lot of games due to a foot injury. And before that foot injury, CJ averaged 28 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field and 43% from 3. And CJ, people really thought CJ was going to be an all-star, including myself, because CJ, he was putting up all-star type of numbers, and he was even competing with his own teammate and Damian Lillard on the offensive side of the ball. But ever since he came back from his injury, CJ averaged 22 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. But he shot 45% from the field and 38% from 3. So that's a complete drop-off for CJ McCollum. Because if he would have never got hurt, he probably would have been an all-star for the first time in his career. And he was kind of competing with Damian Lillard, because they both of them were going off on the offensive side of the ball. And people really had questions about who's going to be the offensive piece on that team. Is it Dame or CJ? Like, that was a legit argument about who's the best player on the team. And we all know that's Damian Lillard, that's no question. But CJ, in some games, he was kind of looking like the best player. Even though I'm not saying he's not the best player, but he was, in some games, he was kind of looking like the best player, as he had multiple 30-point games. He also had some 40-point games. But CJ, as good as he is, he's not a number 2 on the title contender. Because CJ, he's more of like a third option. And if he gets traded to a contender, I think he might make a big difference on that team. Because Portland, that's not going to work out, man. Because CJ is only 29 years old. And then when I go to the center and Jusuf Nurkic, because ever since Nurkic returned from his leg injury in the bubble, he played well. And then this year, he kind of had a down year as he missed 35 games due to a wrist injury. And ever since then, Nurkic hasn't been the same since. As in the playoffs, he really didn't play that great. And his defense kind of fell off a little bit, because Nurkic, as great as he is, he's really not a top 10 center. That's why the loss of Zach Collins and Rodney Hood was really big, because people forget those two were integral pieces of them getting to the Western Conference Finals in 2019, because Rodney Hood was hitting big shots for them, especially against the Denver Nuggets in Game 3 in that 4 overtime game. And then Zach Collins, who was playing elite defense, and that's why those two were really big losses. Then y'all know what time it is. It's Dame time, man, because Damian Lillard, Dame. dropped 55 points on the Denver Nuggets in Game 5, and they still lost. They still lost. And people compare that to LeBron dropping 51 points against the Golden State Warriors. But Damian Lillard dropped 55 points. 55 points in a losing effort. I bet if he would have dropped 70 points, they still would have lost. Because his second leading scorer was Robert fucking Covington, who had 19 points. Robert Covington, who had 19 points. And Damian Lillard was out there backpacking in Game 5. Sure, in Game 6, he started off good in the first half, but in the second half, he went kind of cold. But Dame still had 28 points and 13 assists. But Damian Lillard, as great as he's been, I don't know if Dame can really lead this team to a championship, man. Because Dame even went on the record books and said he wanted to stay in Portland. He said he wanted to lead his team to a championship. But with this type of roster, man, especially their defense, because their defense is god awful, man. Because the only good defender they got is Robert Covington. That's it. And Robert Covington, he's a solid defender, but he's not really an elite defender. Because besides Rocco, nobody else is good on defense. CJ's not good on defense. Melo's not good on defense. Nurkic, he's mid, but he's not good on defense. And Enes Kanter, do I really have to explain that? Don't make me laugh. Because the Portland Trailblazers, they have been disgusting on defense ever since I watched them. Because as good as they are on the offensive side of the ball, they need to pick up some defensive pieces if they want to really contend, man. Because Damian Lillard is really wasting his prime, man. Because Damian Lillard is 30 years old, and he's about to go on 31, and he still hasn't been to the finals yet with this team. And Damian Lillard, this could be his last chance with the Portland Trailblazers. Because I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a Portland fan, a Damian Lillard fan. Dame, I think it's time for you to give up on the Blazers, man. Because I know you love the city of Portland. They're a great they're a small market team. Because a lot of small market teams get disrespected a lot. Especially the Portland Trailblazers. Because people barely knew who the Portland Trailblazers was until Damian Lillard got there. And Dame's the reason why they're relevant right now. Because nobody didn't care about no damn Blazers. The only teams we care about were the Lakers, Heat, Celtics, all those other big market teams. That's the reason why nobody doesn't want to come to Portland, man. Because the Portland Trailblazers, they're really not that great of a franchise, as people said that franchise is unlucky due to all the injuries. But Damian Lillard barely gets injured. And the Portland Trailblazers, that's the reason why they're not picking up key pieces, especially in the free agency, because the Portland Trailblazers, they're a small market. Like Jalen Rose says, who wants to come to a small market? And Damian Lillard and CJ, there's only one thing that the Portland Trailblazers should do. So listen to me. Split them up. It's not working. Because the Portland Trailblazers, they are not doing nothing. And y'all are out here wasting Dame and CJ's primes. And y'all still haven't done much. Y'all only have one Western Conference Finals appearance. And y'all got swept by the Golden State Warriors. That's the only time y'all ever had some success. And besides that year, what have the Blazers really done? Like, seriously, what has the Blazers really done? They got swept by the New Orleans Pelicans back in 2018, which Damian Lillard underperformed and got outplayed by Jrue Holiday. Then in 2017, I know they had a chance against the Golden State Warriors, but they got swept. Then in 2016, they lost to the Warriors in the second round, and they could have probably lost in the first round if it wasn't for Chris Paul and Blake Griffin's injuries back in 2016. Then in 2015, they got eliminated by the Grizzlies, like I said. So the Portland Trailblazers, I think they should just say, fuck it, we're trading Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, because this is not working. Or at least trade CJ and build around Dame. Or if the Portland Trailblazers can knock some sense out of themselves, I think they should trade Damian Lillard to a contender. They might trade him to the Heat, or a lot of people say he might get traded to the Lakers and pair him up with LeBron and AD. And if that does happen, yeah, the NBA better be on the lookout. Because with Dame, LeBron, and AD on the same team, Brooklyn, y'all better watch out. But I'm not saying it's legit gonna happen. But if that does happen, damn, nobody can fuck with the Lakers now. But Dame, this is your only opportunity, man. Because next season, it's all on the line. Because if you can't get the job done, and if you can at least get to a Western Conference Finals, at least a Western Conference Finals, Dame, I will say fuck it. I'm getting traded because I want to win a championship right now. And it's Dame time, man. But with that concludes this video. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to my channel. And what y'all think about this video? Should the Portland Trail Blazers blow it all up, or should they just run it back with the same squad? Make sure y'all stay safe and stay healthy, y'all. This your boy Lil Trady signing out. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Peace.